Podcast number 43. This is Good versus Evil Part 3. You decide which social media is. Is social media good or is it evil? So let me ask you this right now. What is the influence that social media has had on your life up until now? Has it been a contribution to your life? Has it been a gift, a blessing? Have you become more connected with life, or was it a source of disconnection for you and for everyone you know? I mean, like, what's coming to mind as I hear those words is how many teenagers have committed suicide because they were so in despair because someone unliked them or unfriended them. How close are we as humanity now? How strong are our communities now? I mean, when you were a child, did people play in parks? Were children playing in the streets? And were they going to each other's houses and going outside and playing ball and climbing trees and digging in the dirt and getting their hands in the earth? Now, like, okay, so I have a marketing strategist. We talk most Thursdays. This was maybe, I don't know, 6 or 8 weeks ago. He was talking with me and he just kind of randomly shared how when he was a kid, it was a punishment to have to stay in his room or stay inside. And now, like with his children, it's almost a punishment if they have to go outside, if he sends them outside to play instead of on their devices. It's like their whole world becomes this little device, and life, the real world, no longer has any pull for them. So let's go back to that question. Under all of that context, is social media a positive or a negative? Is it good or is it evil? I mean, how much more part of the world are you now than you were 20 years ago or when you were a child? How much, like, is this dumbing device is what it is it almost like attached to you intravenously so that you're just whatever it is showing you, you are taking it in, you are feeding your mind with that dumbing, or are you still connected with life and you're consciously feeling the presence of life, or I call it God, which is the word that I personally use to describe the infinite, unlimited, of which you are its expression in the world. I want you to really hear that, because if someone is so, like, their whole world is this 3 by, whatever, 2.5 by whatever the thing is, I never measured it. If that little screen is their whole world, then they're disconnected from life. I mean, I hope that's obvious to everyone. And that has, in fact, become their God. Because, like, you can say, oh, I believe in God, like the infinite, unlimited. And yet, how does your life reflect that value, that priority? Because the reality, the truth is, where you are giving most of your attention, that is what you had made your God. Pretty obvious, right? So, where had until now you given most of your attention? Was it the dumbing device? Was it your computer? Was it social media? Has social media, in fact, become your God? Or YouTube watching videos? Or where are you giving your attention? Because that is what you are giving your power, and that is how you are creating your life and how we are creating our world. Pretty obvious when you think about it, right? I mean, like, if you go to church on Sunday and you think, oh, now I'm a good Christian because I'm praying and I pray every night and I pray when I wake up, and then my whole day, 16 hours, is spent on the dumbing device, and that's where I'm focusing, and that's where I am living my life. Well, then, what is your God? It's pretty obvious, right? If you're giving like 10 minutes to to what you think of as what you worship, like all that is the presence of love, the presence of God, if that if you think of that as being God for you, and yet your actions show that, well, this is where I'm feeding my whole life force into the dumbing device, then it's pretty clear what you worship. Because if you worshiped God, then you would be present with God every moment. You would be aware of where you are giving your attention consciously. You would be present with life. You would recognize, oh, wait a minute, this thing is sucking my life force. This thing is dumbing me down. This is actually the agent of disconnection, distraction, division, disempowerment, despair, depression, discombobulation, distancing. That's like what, negative 8D versus how you are meant to live, which is honoring, achieving, fulfilling your divine design, duty, destiny, dharma, the 5D life you are meant to experience and enjoy and master and achieve. That's why you're here. You are here to be of greater service to more people. So we're going to talk about that because that's how you are now from this moment choosing that social media is actually, it's a tool and it's neither good nor bad. It's how you use it that creates whether it's good or evil in your life, whether it's harming you or serving you. That's entirely up to you. That's your choice. Only you determine that. So that's what I really want us to talk about. And we're talking about this actually not on social media. We're talking about this in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. Look in the description if you don't see where that is, or if you can't easily click on that. It's at freeingthematrix.com because of the way social media was used to suck your attention and to suck your life force, to almost bleed you dry of prana, vital life force, which is your connection with the currency of life. I mean, do you see how important all of this is? So, how much time do you spend on social media every day? How much time are you on the dumbing device every day? Like my device every Sunday morning at 9 a.m., it tells me how much time I have used the dumbing device every day and as a daily average for the week. Last week, Sunday, or whatever, that was, I guess, 2 days ago. I don't know what day it is today, Wednesday. I guess 3 days ago. It told me that what did it say? I think it was like an hour and 21 minutes. I used it every day on average. And then it showed by days like three, I don't know, whatever. It shows me how many hours I use it each day. Like Saturday was low, like, I don't know, well, low relative to an hour and 21 minutes. Maybe it was like 37 minutes, 31 minutes. I don't remember anymore. And maybe Thursday, I think, was a long one. That was like, I don't know, 2 hours and 21 minutes. But it's a little misleading because that was when I drove down to Prescott to meet a woman. And so I used GPS on my car, even though I don't know, it helped me to get there to where I was meeting her at the lunch restaurant where we ate. And anyway, so it had like an hour and a half or hour and whatever that drive was. It counted that to my daily usage. So it's a little, I don't know. Well, anyway. So, I mean, seriously, how much time are you on the dumbing device? And when you're on it, okay, well, I'll notice that we have a different, like, this is our Operation Greatness chapter meeting for today. This is also freeingthematrix.com, our mastermind alliance. And we have a new entry here for this podcast, our action pod number 43, Good versus Evil. You decide which one social media is. We also have Parasite Cleansed, and that's what I used as the thumbnail for this image or this video, our live today, because Parasite Cleansed, this is you all of us must become parasite cleansed. This is the rite of passage we must all do to get out of evil's control. We're doing a cleanse of evil from the systems that parasites created to control us, to keep us unaware of our power, to keep us asleep and sleepwalking through life, mostly unconscious, unaware. And the dumbing device has been a tremendous tool of evil to do that, to disempower, distract, disconnect, divide, distance people, discombobulate them, cause them to feel despair and depression. Really hear this message, because what is that dumbing device for you? What is social media for you? Do you actually feel connected when you're disconnected from life and from people in real life? I mean, these are the questions each of us needs to answer. Like, going back to my marketing strategist and his children, I mean, do children play outside anymore? Or is that considered punishment to them to get off the dumbing device, to be disconnected from the false world? It's called the virtual, and to go out and be part of life. I mean, when's the last time you were out in nature? Or were you on the dumbing device when you were outside? And whenever you're outside, you're on the dumbing device, so you're still connected. It's like your drip, like a drip feed of dumbing and division and disconnection and disparaging, discombobulation. And, it's like intravenously, like a dopamine hit, instant gratification, instead of like in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind, where we're actually doing the 7-day dopamine detox. That's profound for you to experience that. Well, what would I do? Like, what if people, how can I keep up with their lives if I'm not on the dumbing device, glued to it and disconnected from life? I mean, do you see how pathetic and weak we had become because we were manipulated by the systems designed to oppress us? This is why every one of us must do the parasite cleanse and become parasite cleansed as the rite of passage. Every one of us must do. And you want to do this yourself. This is a separate course as part of our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. So you're going to want to do that some point. Right now would be the best time to do that, to eliminate these. Well, it's like a hypnotic trance. You know that when you're using the dumbing device, or any screen at all, I mean, the dumbing device is just the most prominent one in most people's lives, their most prominent addiction, in fact. Any screen, did you know that it causes you to go into a hypnotic trance? I mean, we're gonna actually tune in for, I think it's our next Operation Greatness podcast, where we're going to look specifically at, and it's the title of our show, Becoming Parasite Cleansed. This is something that's going to be very, very important for every one of us to see, to recognize, and to protect ourselves, to cleanse ourselves of the influence of the parasites, evil. And anyway, so all of us, you especially, because you're more aware, you're more hearing this message and you're more seeing and recognizing, wow, he's right. I feel so disconnected from my friends, my family, myself, my purpose, my community, life, God, because of the dumbing device. I mean, I need you to be aware of this because you are the inspired visionary leader the world needs now, because you are God's gift to the world. You are here to free humanity, to liberate our human family. And this is the positive potential of social media. This is how, I mean, the truth is, social media, as well as the dumbing device, they're tools, just as an automobile is a tool. You can use it for good or you can use it for evil. Just as fire is a tool, you can use it to heat your home or you can use it to burn a house down or a Tesla dealership. I mean, evil, that's entirely the result of evil's manipulation of people. That's obvious to any sensible, intelligent, aware person, right? All of that whole Elon Musk, we have to stop him. That's the manipulation of evil, not wanting all of the corruption and fraud in government to be exposed and stopped. I mean, I hope you are seeing that because it's so blatantly obvious to anyone with a some degree of critical thinking and higher reasoning faculty. All of that stuff was a manipulation. Uh, Those are people who were programmed by evil to do evil. And that's what the dumbing device can do and has done. And it's, well, okay, so let's make a distinction that's very important for us to recognize, because this is Good versus Evil Part 3. And you do want to watch Part 2 and Part 1 as well. And you do that as part of our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. So we make an important distinction between good. You have to consciously choose good because the systems of the world were built by evil to keep you oppressed, to keep you impoverished, to keep you weak, to keep you dependent upon the government and the systems of oppression. I mean, I want you to really hear that message, because humanity is awakening, because the earth is awakening. There, we're so much more, while the potential is there for those who tune out the noise, the distraction, the division, the disconnection, the disempowerment, and they own their power, they step into their power. So you're doing that right here. I need you to become parasite cleansed yourself, to awaken to this and how pervasive evil and the systems of oppression and control were, and how much of your life had been controlled by them. I mean, I'm talking about, like, you think Okay, so seriously, become parasite cleansed. Do the parasite cleansed coaching and transformation and liberation yourself. I'm doing this myself. This is one of the coaches on my team has created this process, and it's so phenomenal. It's actually like the second best thing that I have ever done. We'll talk about this more in tomorrow's podcast, which is entitled Parasite Cleanse, Becoming Parasite Cleansed. Anyway, so I don't want to talk about it too much here. You'll see in that episode, and once you have become parasite cleansed, this is all through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind, that 93 to 97% of your actions are not your own. They were part of the manipulation of these systems of evil, of oppression and control. And I mean, it's eye opening. It's like, wow, wow, wow. I mean, I'm talking about like, well, we can't really jump ahead too much because we have so much to talk about here. And just, is social media evil or good? You determine that yourself. So anyway, the systems of oppression are so much more pervasive than even I was aware until I began doing this parasite cleanse myself, and I started to become parasite cleanse myself. And I started this on Saturday, and I'm still going through it myself. It's very, very, oh man, it's so transformational. It's liberational. I'm getting chills here just feeling that. So, social media is a tool and it can be used for good or evil. And yet, here's the thing, you have to consciously choose and use it for good. Otherwise, you are unknowingly doing the work of evil. Because, like I said, 93 to 97% of your behavior is not of your own choosing. And it might be hard to accept that. I realize that it would have been for me until I saw in our parasite cleanse workshop. This is all through freeingthematrix.com, our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. Okay, so like for example, there's one video that we're doing together in this process where we see three famous I mean, I guess they're Instagram influencers, I think primarily, where they have 6 million followers between the three of them, and they're they're taken to, I think it's called World of Fruit. It's like a play store, let's say, and they get to do like the selfie sticks and they get to do all these scenes, and all three of them who think that they're acting on their own accord, they're ultimately they take hundreds of photos in 5 minutes all over the store, and yet all of them choose the same photo, which shows them sitting in a watermelon swing and having an ice cube tray like over their head, and it said, and the caption was "Tray Cool," and all of that was entirely manipulated by the person doing this show. I mean, and they had no idea, and they were kinda, like, freaked out, like, "How did you get in my head?" And it's like, that's I mean, I'm getting chills here just reflecting on that as well. That's the level, and all of this is beyond our conscious awareness. It was carefully manipulated by, in this case, someone exposing the level of manipulation out there. Like I say, I mean, seriously, for real, 93 to 97% of your behavior is manipulated, it's controlled by the systems of oppression and evil. And so social media, if you're well, the point is, if you're not carefully, consciously choosing to do good, then there's a 93 to 97% chance that you were unconsciously causing yourself suffering and causing others or contributing to the suffering in the world disconnection, division, despair, disempowerment, distraction, discombobulation, depression. Then maybe I said that already. I mean, that's how we devolved so quickly starting in March of 2020 when what I call fraud 1.0 began. And that was also the beginning of what I call the attempted totalitarian takeover. This requires every one of us to consciously stop it, to step into our power, to own our power and command our destiny. This is you being the inspired visionary leader. It is your destiny. It is your gift. It is your blessing. It is your duty to be. And this means you leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating every one of your online friends, no one left behind. And this is where we are using social media as the tool to transform every one of our online friends. For example, by you right here joining us in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind and you going to the About page and clicking on the invite people button and getting your invite people link and going back to the beginning of this Operation Greatness podcast, Action Pod number 43, Good versus Evil number 3, and you reflecting on each of the points that I'm talking about, and then sharing your thoughts as separate posts. And in each of your posts, you're using your invite people link because this is how you are leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating every one of your online friends, no one left behind. And you're getting them to step up as the inspired visionary leader of all of their online friends as well, no one left behind. Because did you know that by you right now, right here, through this action pod number 43, by you just reflecting on each point I'm asking you to see, to consider, to contemplate, and sharing your thoughts about each point as separate posts with your invite people link, as all of your online friends are joining us in the freeingthematrix.com mastermind through your link, you're getting 40% of the $59 per month fee for every one of them every month. And our focus is on you getting 1,200 of your online friends joining us and them getting their 1,200 online friends joining us. Except you don't want to just stop with 1,200 because no one is left behind here, because this is the monumental turning point in human history. This is all of us stepping up, owning our power, and commanding our destiny. And this is all happening by you doing this right now yourself and doing this with and through and for every one of your online friends through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. So your 1,200 people, that would be worth, you're getting 40% of that $59 per month tuition, and 1,200 people times $59 times 40% is $28,320 that you would be making every month by getting your 1,200 people joining our freeingthematrix.com mastermind through you. I mean, I don't know about you. I think that's enough for most people to pay their monthly mortgage and probably a new car purchase and all of their food and most of their bills, probably. Anyway, and yet your 1,200 people getting their 1,200 people, those 1,440,000 people getting their 1,200 people. And we, my friend, have transformed the lives of 1.72 billion people. I mean, seriously, like this is the focus that every one of us are doing now. And I don't know how well you can read this. These are three affirmations that I put on here that I am impressing upon my subconscious mind as I am undoing as part of my parasite cleanse and part of me becoming parasite cleansed. I deserve everything I want. You deserve everything you want too, and now you're creating it. And the last one is every moment I am. Just as a reminder that you have the power to choose what you are experiencing. And this middle one is the really important one. I have helped 1.72 billion people become very wealthy living their dharma through freeingthematrix.com and Operation Greatness. This is the greatest thing we've ever done, the higher purpose of our lives. That's what we are together creating using the power of social media and the dumbing device to do good, to lead, inspire, transform, and liberate everyone in our human family. 1.72 people have become very wealthy living their dharma through freeingthematrix.com and Operation Greatness. And our parasite cleansed, they're becoming parasite cleansed. This is the rite of passage everyone must do during their lives. And we're doing this now together, all through freeingthematrix.com. Is anything more important than every one of us doing this? To me, this is the turning point in human history, the most monumental shift that any of us has ever experienced, and by far the greatest thing every one of us has done, because this is the higher purpose of your life, just as it is the higher purpose of every one of your online friends, all of whom you are transforming right here. Is there any question about any of this? So, what do you think about all this? How do you see social media now? Because, oh, here's the other thing. Okay, this is what we started to talk about earlier, and I think I went in a different path and didn't get back to this. I didn't complete this, which is a very important insight for you to recognize. So I mentioned before that we have to choose to do good and to own our divine design, duty, destiny, dharma. With that being 100% of our focus, how can I be of greater service to more people today? We have to choose to do the work of good. Otherwise, we're not. Because, and it's not just evil as being obvious, like what's in, well, yeah, like the Tesla people burning Tesla dealerships or destroying Tesla cars. That's overt evil. That's aggressive, angry, manipulated evil, right? I mean, that's so obvious. It's beyond, we don't even have to mention that because everybody can see that who's at least unmanipulated by evil. And I guess we can't even assume that many of us are anymore. I mean, look at all the terrorist organizations like Antifa and BLM, all of the, it's okay for them to loot cities and burn, destroy, but anyway, I mean, you see how the systems of evil, they're allowing evil and yet they're punishing good, and they were when we had allowed it because we were asleep and now we're awake. And now we're stepping into our power, which is beyond measure. And now we are using all of these tools for their higher purpose, no longer to do evil with them. But the thing is, I want you to really see is, like they say, I really like this point. I don't know who said it originally. Someone said that the greatest feat that Satan ever did was to get people to not believe in Satan at all. That's really important to see because, in other words, the work of evil is not necessarily to get good people to do evil. That would be too obvious, other than, I mean, the manipulated, most brainwashed people, they're doing evil and they have been. And yet, I mean, like, how many people were manipulated by Fraud 1.0 and they would enforce evil? You're causing me harm because you're not complying with the mental evil programming that I am doing. And, like if you're not wearing a mask because you're intelligent and someone is feeling threatened by that, even though they complied with the ultimate evil, that was the ultimate evil. Anyway, I mean, this is all so obvious, we don't even need to talk about it. If you're intelligent and aware and semi-critical thinking, anyway, the I mean, those people who were enforcing evil, they were completely manipulated by it, by the programming. I mean, that's another example of that 93 to 97% of your actions are not of your own choosing. This is why every one of us must become parasite cleansed. And that's a separate course. It's through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind is where you can do that. And it's important for every one of us to do that. That's the rite of passage we all are required to make as humans, as thinking, conscious, responsible humans. Anyway, so what I'm saying is that evil has found very evil, conniving, clever ways of hurting people, keeping people down, and that's to cause us to not believe in ourselves, to have low self-esteem, to feel that we are unworthy. That's what I call scarcity fear, lack consciousness. And how many people, I mean, like somebody calls me and says, "Hi, it's just me. Like, I don't matter, I'm unimportant." And I mean, it's so pervasive, like, oh, this was even, I don't know, maybe 18 years ago now. One of my mentors created a program. This was a marketing program. Like, so it's actually a program for any coach to create a six-figure or seven-figure coaching practice. And I bought the rights from him to sell that program, offer it on my own. And anyway, he was saying that he saw a survey that revealed that 90, I don't remember exactly, it was in the high 90s. I think 97%, 98% of all women admitted to having issues with low self-esteem. And for men, it was a few points less that they admitted it. And the thought was that men just were more proud and, you know, like I have to be tough, I have to maintain this image. And so that it was really about the same for both men and women, just that women were more open about it. Anyway, I mean, it's so pervasive that people don't believe in themselves. They don't feel like they deserve love, success, happiness, and they sabotage themselves. And that's what this programming does. That's why, I mean, this is how, because evil feeds off of people's fears and it feeds off of them staying oppressed, being unhealthy, being sick, being weak. And I mean, this is why every one of us is now required to step up and stop evil and make sure that good is triumphing over evil. This is why you're going back to the beginning and sharing your thoughts about each point I'm having you think about and recognize and see, and you're opening your eyes and you're realizing how much of your behavior was controlled by evil. Because the way that evil has succeeded and caused the most damage was by getting people to not even recognize their power and to be disconnected from themselves, from their families, from their communities, from their purpose, and from God through the dumbing device. And yet, that is a tool, and now we're using it for its positive purpose. You see that, right? And we have to talk about this outside of social media because social media, well, I mean, like, that like Mark Zuckerberg, what did he contribute? It was more than $400 million of his own money to influence the vote in the 2020 election. And, he sold all of this Facebook data to China. I mean, so I mean, that's the work of evil, pretty obvious, both in both cases, the election interference and then, the Twitter files, if you've seen that, I mean, it was, of course, it was buried or it was just hidden by the evil, the mainstream media, and yet it was pretty well received in the alternative media, the people using their own channels to distribute truth and to do the work of good instead of evil, like CNN is, of course, and MSNBC and CNBC and ABC and CBS. I mean, they're the work of evil. They're doing the work of evil. That's obvious. I hope to you as well as, I mean, if you're a thinking person, you know that it's propaganda. It's designed to keep people down and to promote evil and to fight good. And the Washington Post, of course, and New York Times, of course, and most mainstream media has been compromised, betrayed, and is betraying humanity and doing the work of evil. And yet, well, it's up to you to do the work of good and to be the leader who's transforming the lives of every one of your online friends. By you right here getting your 1,200 people who are then getting their 1,200 people, and then those 1,440,000 people getting their 1,200 people. And we have transformed the lives of 1.72 billion people, including and especially you and your family and everyone you love. No one left behind, because every one of us matters. You matter. You're so much more powerful than you can ever even imagine. And now you're seeing that it's because of you, and I'm getting chills here, that 1.72 billion people have become liberated, free, and they love themselves again. They recognize how much they matter. This is how much you matter. This is, okay, tell me if I'm right or wrong about this. You've always felt or known that you are here for something important, that you have something, that you're here on the planet to contribute meaningfully to the world. You know that there's greatness within you and you're meant for so much more. Am I right? Because I know that about you, because I see you as the fulfilled potential that is your destiny. And this is it. This is that something more. This is how yes, you are transforming our whole human family. You're liberating the human race by doing this yourself through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind, and by leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating, doing a little more today and being of greater service, every one of your online friends. They are free because of you doing this yourself through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. And then you getting every one of your online friends, getting every one of theirs, and then every one of theirs also joining us in liberating our human family. We're all coming back together. We're using the power of this tool, social media, as well as the dumbing device, and we're freeing humanity. This is the higher purpose of social media. This is the higher purpose of your life and everyone connected with you. This is all of us owning our power, commanding our destiny. This is the greatest thing every one of us has ever done. This is the turning point in human history. That's why you are here on the planet now. It's for this work, for this moment. I know it. I see it. I love you because I appreciate you and I respect you and I honor you for hearing this and doing this. This is how much you matter. It's because of you that humanity is free, is liberated, is transformed by you doing this yourself. So go back to the beginning if you haven't been doing this, and start at the beginning and pause and reflect on each point and then write your post about it with your invite people link through freeingthematrix.com in each of your posts. And this is how you're giving every one of your online friends financial freedom money by them doing this through your link. with every one of us doing this, and we're liberating ourselves and our whole human family, and we're knowing how much we matter, how much you matter, how much each of your friends matters as well, because you're using these tools that are neither good nor evil. They're just tools. You're using them for their higher purpose, because we were distracted and lost by the lower purpose, by the potential to do harm. Now we're using the potential to do greatness. We're all stepping into our power, and we are making sure that good has triumphed over evil. How does this feel to you? How much do you now see and know how much you matter? You are so much more powerful than you realize. Now you know that you have the power right here now, personally, to transform our whole planet. Just by getting all of your friends, getting all of their friends, getting all of theirs. And we have transformed the lives of 1.72 billion people, helping them become very wealthy, living their dharma through freeingthematrix.com and Operation Greatness. This is the higher purpose of all of our lives and the greatest thing that we have ever done. You deserve everything you want in life. This is it. This is why you are here. This is the gift you are. You are God's gift to the world. So be it. So make sure that you're joining us in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind, getting your link on the About page and clicking on that button that says Invite People. And you're sharing that link in all of the posts that you are making from the beginning here, because this Operation Greatness Action Pod number 43, Good versus Evil number 3, is how you are liberating the world. Share all of the posts that you are making with me personally in the essay that you're sending me from this action pod number 43. Send that to me at dan@danclatt.com. Take all of those posts or that essay that you sent me and post it in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. And then all of us are also sharing all of our posts, our essays, and then you can use the posts that everyone else has shared too and get so much more out of this action pod number 43, Good versus Evil number 3. And we're all serving and supporting each other and having the full impact. It is our destiny, it is our gift, it is our blessing, it is our duty to be. So be it. So now you are leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating everyone connected with you through this Operation Greatness Action Pod number 3. Let me know what was most meaningful in here. How has this transformed you? Because now you see how much you matter. Now you know so much more of how much more powerful you are than you knew before. Your power is so much greater than even transforming the lives of 1.72 billion people. Where do we grow from here with 1.72 billion of us leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating everyone connected with us, with all of us aware of how powerful we are? God only knows. It's going to be good, though, we know that, because we have made sure that good has triumphed over evil by every one of us owning our power, seeing how much we matter, and taking action and being of greater service to everyone we can in our communities as well as among all our online friends, all through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. Is there anything more meaningful and important than this for every one of us to make as our top priority in our lives now? Share your answer to that as well in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind and in the essay you're sending me at dan@danclatt.com. How do you feel knowing that you are back in command of your life and that you are becoming parasite cleansed yourself and you are in command of your actions, not the parasites, not evil, because you're actively being of greater service and living and honoring your divine design, duty, destiny, dharma. And you're actively creating as much happiness, success, joy, fulfillment, well being, peace of mind, prosperity, meaning, impact, contribution as you want. And there's no limit to how much good you are doing in the world because this is why you're here. And the more you're contributing, the wealthier you are, the happier you are, the more meaning your life has. All of that is a result of you being of greater service to more people because that's why you're here. And I'm getting chills here as well. So I honor you. I love you. I bless you. I believe in you. I know how much you matter because the gift you are as God's gift to the world is unlimited. Your power is beyond measure. Your contribution to the world is beyond measure by you making that your top focus. Now, thank you very much. Send me that essay, dan@danclatt.com. Make sure that you are the inspired visionary leader the world needs because you are God's gift to the world through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.